Hello! Time for another honest magic review, and today we're going to talk about Steve Dela's Night Flight deck. So, what is Steve Dela's Night Flight deck? I don't think I'm giving too much away by saying they are mark cards. Now, saying mark cards, I think is doing them an injustice. What Steve has done is he's redesigned pretty much all the picture cards again. He's redesigned the back. This is not your bicycle deck, but then they're similar enough that you how much notice do people take? When I say they're a mark deck, they're using, well, I think it's commonly now known as the Ted Leslie method, as in pretty much the information's just written. There's no, patterns or stars or scratched out corners or, one corner's a slightly different shape than the other corner. They're in. If you can read from, if you can read your numbers and you can do letters, then you can read these decks. They are so easy. Not giving too much away because I think on Steve's website, if you go on to nightflightdeck.com, he shows you the markings and everything. So you know exactly what you're getting. Now, this is where you need to really trust this deck. Because when I looked at them and knew where the markings were, I thought they were obvious. I handed the whole deck to my partner. Now, my partner knows a lot about magic. She's my go-to when I'm performing or coming up with new routines or doing anything or getting any new effect. She can spot most mark decks instantly. She spent nearly 20 minutes looking at this deck. And, when you know where it is and you see, the reason for it is because the cards are, because they're kind of, the markings are in the design of the pattern, and the minute once you've spotted them, you can't unsee them, if that makes sense. So the markings are very clear. And, even with my bad eyesight, I can see them. I can see that's the eight of spades. I can see that's the 10 of spades, even from this distance here. Look, King of diamonds. That's how brilliant and easy they are. So certainly from someone with aged eyesight, the markings are very clear. That's the first thing. I've not got a standard Night Flight deck to compare, because look, I buy everything with my own money, so I'm only going to buy what I know I'm going to use. And I really liked the Pro Flight because I like the idea of having a mark deck in my pocket all the time, pubs and clubs. And that's what's brilliant about these. If you're performing in a bar where or friends and family, or coffee tables, your cards are going to go down on drinks and, wet patches and stuff like that. So I kind of wanted a deck that was going to last me some time. So I particularly went for the Pro deck. Now, at £25, I think they're worth the money. For £20, they're a steal, which is why I'm doing the review now, because they're now only at 20. I don't know how long Steve's going to keep it at 20, but it's certainly a sale at the moment at £20. So I recommend that. Can you do everything with these cards that you can with a normal deck? So as long as you're not adjusting a card, so you're not going to be able to put a breather crimp, well, you probably can, but I don't want to risk it. Steve, if you want to send me a deck for free, I will try all this and do another review video, but I'm not sure I'd want to risk wrecking a card, because I paid £25 for these, to see if you could put a breather crimp in. But I don't think you would be able to. I don't think it would hold a breather crimp. You're not going to do a corner crimp or anything like that. You're certainly not going to do a fold or a mercury fold or anything with these cards. So I think you're going to be limited to what you can actually do to the cards. I certainly wouldn't get one signed. But then all the routines that I'm doing from a mind reader mentalist point of view, I don't get the cards signed anyway. If you're going to use the mark deck, then take some time to learn a stack deck, and then a stacked mark deck is a very, very powerful tool for a mentalist. So anyway, there you go. That's the Mindflower deck. From a handling point of view, you can, they shuffle nicely, everything that you would normally do with a normal deck. If you want to do some fancy shuffles, you can do all that. That all works, kind of thing. I haven't actually tested to see what they're like at farrowing. Probably they're not great, because they're quite, you're not going to be able to do your farrow shuffle, or maybe if you practice it, but your standard one's not going to work there. You can do your fancy, even though they're a bit slippery, I would say. And the cards, look, even the ace is beautiful. Steve has added on the box some nice little forces. So you've got the force on the bottom there. You've got the 5 of diamonds reveal here. The only question I would say, there's no instructions that comes with it. So there's nothing that explains it. You're going to have to go. There's a number force on the box. Again, there's no routines comes with this. Maybe, for £25, it might be nice for Steve just to put in a little video, maybe do a couple of reveals to help the people that don't know. You do get a double backer, which I think is really useful. If you go on his website, he has a complete set of gimmick cards. Let me just read you. 2018 was when Steve Dela came over with this one, and it's amazing. So you can get a misindex court cards. You can get some gaff cards. You get a gaff flight deck, so you get a deck of cards with all your gaffs in there. What do you want? Misindexes, double backers, swirly cards, falling pips. But go on his website. All the information is in there. But certainly from the feel of the playing cards, when I saw PVC, and I've had PVC deck playing cards before, and they're like plasticky. These actually handle really nice. You can do your strike doubles. Second dealing's okay. They kind of grip your fingers. I find these grip my fingers a lot better than normal playing cards, to be honest. So, my recommendation, I paid my own money like I always do, so I can give an honest response. The only thing I don't like is I think there's the Queen of Diamonds has got a force card, but again, one of the queens have got a force card on her, which I think the Queen of Spades is forcing the Ace of Hearts, which again, I would rather them just be normal. I think, again, going down that route, which a lot of magic creators are doing at the moment, is instead of just creating a great product that does one thing and does it really well, they seem to think that majority of us purchasers, the community, the consumers, we want a million things. I just wanted a marked deck. For me, that actually makes it a bit of a nightmare for me, because if I've got the card down and somebody looks at it, doesn't look like a normal queen, therefore, if that's not a normal queen, it's everything. And it then devalues the whole deck of being a normal deck. So I'd rather the queen just be a normal queen. So Steve, if you do release another set, or if you're going to do individual cards, can I have a queen that isn't forcing the Ace of Hearts, please? Because that, to me, makes this deck troublesome. So I'd rather it not. I mean, I don't mind the box having a few bits on it. No one ever sees the box. But the actual cards themselves, on the face of them, can we just have normal faces? And I think that was, again, that mentality that creators have of, if you want to do something, let's add loads of it. Like wallet creators. God, I mean, you now get a wallet that can do a million things, and it does them all badly. From a mark decker point of view, the markings are brilliant. I love it. Everything else, for me, is just overkill and then devalues it slightly. So for £25, I'd rather not have had the queen doing an ace. It just doesn't look like a normal queen. I'd rather be able to lay the cards out for the cards to be fully, like I say, everything else that can be examined, that you can even very briefly, and I say very briefly, my girlfriend had these cards for a long time, she did not spot the markings. Mainly because, that's the other point I need to point out, the markings are on the side. So it makes reading it from the spread very easy. So, I'm seeing every single card just from the spread. I don't need to look at the back like that. So one of the great handlings that I've been doing, which fools a lot of people, is as they're touching the card, I'm getting the peak, I'm seeing the mark, and then I'm closing up going, look at the back. I don't want you thinking I'm seeing the back and it's somehow marked. Well, I've already looked at it. So the fact that you can read it from a spread, I think is a great improvement. I know you can do that with the Phoenix Penguins mark deck, which is marked in a few different locations. Well, I'm not a big fan of the Penguin deck. It's a number and a symbol and the brain. I just like to be able to read it very clear, and it's slightly down. You just want to be able to glance, boom, job done. So I do like that about it. So everything else about this deck I really enjoy. I would say the messing around. I like the fact that he's redone all the face cards. They do look quite cool. I don't know if that kind of come up on the camera, but I really hate the Queen. Sorry, Steve. Other than that, I highly recommend it. But if, like me, you just wanted the cards to be normal on the face, they're not. So for me, that's a bit of a downer. Everything else I love about the deck. So there you go. If you like these videos, click subscribe, comment. Do you own a deck? What do you think is the best mark deck out there? And also, does the Queen bother you? Comment there as well. So I'll catch you later. And like, subscribe, comment, boom, 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 all that kind of stuff. See you later. Bye.